Hi everyone, it's Miss Jen here. I miss all of you so much and I can't wait to get back to the gym and see all of you guys again. I hope that you're staying safe and active during this time. Something a lot of you don't know about me is that when I did gymnastics, they actually called me Reds because I have red hair. So today we're going to focus on different skills and movements that start with the letter R, such as different types of runs. Then we'll move on to different types of rolls and finally end with some round-offs. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to start with in this video is our different types of runs. Luckily it's nice outside today, so I got to run outside. The first thing we're going to do are knees up. You're going to bring your knees all the way up to your hands like you're marching, and then you can get faster and then add a run. All right, the next thing that you can do are butt kicks. This is where you kick your bottom. You can start doing it in place. And get faster, and then run. All right, the next one's a little bit trickier. You're going to run on one foot. So I'm going to start on my right leg, and then on the way back, I'll do my left leg. Okay, so you can start this standing in one spot, and then add a little hop, and then add running to it. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other leg. Standing on your other leg, add a hop, and then move forward. Okay. And finally, we're going to end with a stride run that's going to turn into a sprint. So our stride run is a fast sprint, but it's really long, and then you'll move into quicker steps as you go on further down wherever you're running. Alright, so these are different types of runs that you can practice. Just make sure that you're on a level surface and make sure that hopefully you can find some sort of surface that's soft to run on as well. And if you want to have some more fun with this, you can turn it into relay races with anyone at your house. Okay, good luck! Okay, so the first thing we're going to focus on is our forward tuck rolls. This is our forward roll where you're in a tuck position. Okay, the first thing we're going to practice is the first part of the roll, where we really want to make sure that we're looking at our belly button. And for this, all you're going to need is 1 or 2 pillows to make a little cushion for yourself, because we're actually going to roll on the pillow, making sure the back of our head is touching the pillow when our hands go down. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. Your feet are going to go up. Make sure you're in a tuck position. Okay, the back of your head's going to go in the pillow, and you can roll down the pillow. Okay, it actually makes a nice little hill for you too, which is good. But make sure that when your head goes down on the pillow, that the back of your head is touching the ground so that you're looking at your belly button. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to practice. After that, you're going to practice the end part of your tuck forward roll. Okay, for this part, we're going to go through a series of rock and rolls where we're going to focus on using our belly muscles to stand up and staying nice and round until we finish the skill. Okay, so first, we're just going to do our simple rock and rolls. You can hug your knees, make sure your back is nice and round. Okay, after that, you can practice with some sit-ups. This will help you get your belly muscles ready for standing up at the end of the skill. And then finally, you're going to combine the two. Take the rock and roll, the sit-up, and then stand up to finish this skill. Okay, so then finally, once you're completed with practicing these different movements, you'll be ready to combine everything and hopefully complete your forward roll. So start with your arms up. Your hands will go down, just like you did on the pillow. The back of your head will go on the floor looking at your belly button, and then you'll roll to stand up. Just like we did for our tuck forward rolls, we're going to do the same sort of skills to practice for our forward straddle rolls. Okay, so again, all you need is a couch or some sort of soft chair to put your feet up on and 1 or 2 pillows. I use 2 just because it's a bigger cushion. Okay, your hands are gonna go on the ground just like your tuck forward roll. Legs are gonna go up. The difference here is your legs are in a straddle, okay? But the back of your head is still going on the pillow, looking at your belly button, okay? So legs up, legs are in a straddle. Hands towards the front of the pillows, tuck your head in, and roll. Okay, make sure when you land that you're sitting in a straddle with your hands in the middle, okay? For the end of the straddle roll, okay, same sort of things as the tuck roll. You're going to start laying on your back, okay? Feet are going to be in the air, just like a rock and roll, but your legs are in a straddle, okay? Really make sure that you're landing with your hands in the middle so that you're ready to push up at the end, because that's the final part of this roll, and a lot of times that's the most difficult part. Okay, so roll back, and a nice tight ending, okay? For the very end of this, we didn't do this for our tuck roll, so this is a little different. You're going to start sitting on your pillows, okay? This gives you a little boost, and you're going to practice the end part of your forward straddle roll. Okay, so you're going to sit in a straddle, your hands are going to go in the middle, and you're going to use these pillows to help you lift yourself up, okay? Start here, hands in the middle, and rock up, okay? Just practice these rocks. Okay, and then finally, once you feel like you're good at it, you'll rock up and stand up. And then once you've practiced all of these different drills to help you with your forward straddle roll, you can put the whole thing together. Okay, so you'll start arms up, legs in a straddle for this one, since this is our straddle roll. Hands down, remember back of your head on the ground. Okay, and land in this position. Okay, remember to do all the things that you were doing in your drills so that you're doing a safe forward straddle roll. All right, so for our final type of forward roll, we're gonna do our forward pike rolls. We're gonna do the same drills as we did for our straddle rolls, okay? But your legs are together and straight instead because we are in a pike position. Okay, so legs up. Make sure that your hips are up for this one. And roll. For this, you're gonna end in a pike position. Make sure your hands are on the side, okay, pressing into the ground because eventually you'll stand up. All right? Then you're gonna go into your rocks just like we did in our previous roll. You can even lift your hips up at the end too. Okay. For pike rolls, be a little careful because you do need a pretty good amount of speed to stand up at the end. So doing this on a hard surface would not be good for your feet. So really make sure if you are going into that final step where you stand up, that you have something that's really, really safe and has a padding to it, such as a gymnastics mat, or anything that's pretty cushiony. For me, this is kind of a hard floor, so I'm not going to do that final step where I stand up, but feel free to do that if you have a gymnastics mat, okay? Finally, you're going to practice like we did for our straddle rolls, sitting on your pillow, rocking to stand up, okay? Like I said, if you have a nice cushion mat, okay, this is where you could rock and dig those heels in to get yourself up, okay? If you're dealing with just a carpet, it might be better to stick to these rocks where you're just lifting your hips off the ground, okay? And then finally, you can put everything together. So you're gonna start with your arms up, okay? Make sure the back of your head is on the ground, legs are straight and together. Okay? The next part of our roll series that we're going to go into is all of our backward rolls. Okay, we're going to start with our backward tuck rolls, and for this you just need a beanbag or some sort of small stuffed animal, or a hula hoop or some sort of bucket that's in a circular shape. Okay, to to start for our backward tuck rolls, you're gonna lay on your back. And these are very similar to rock and rolls. We're just gonna really focus on that backward part where our hands are in a position as if we're holding pizza pies, okay? So sit down and tuck, okay? And you're just gonna roll like this, getting your hands ready to do the backward roll, okay? Make sure your hands are flat on the ground. The next thing you're going to do for backward tuck rolls, this is where your fun stuff comes in. You can hold the stuffed animal between your legs. It squeaks, it's my dog's toy. But you can put it below your knees. And then set up your hula hoop or your bucket, whatever you have. It's kind of like you're playing basketball while doing gymnastics at the same time. We're going to focus on getting our legs over our head and getting this stuffed animal, or whatever you're using, into your hoop, okay? So sit in a tuck. Stuffed animal is between the bottom part of my legs, right above my ankles. All right, make sure you have enough room so that your head is not hitting your hula hoop or bucket, whatever you're using. I would lay down first. Get your hands ready. And drop it into your bucket. I think I made it in. Yes, I did. Okay, so you can do that, have some fun with it. All right, and really focus on getting those legs over your head in a tucked position where they're together, okay? And finally, you can put all of those steps together. Now you're gonna sit in a tuck. Don't forget about your roll, your rock and roll, pizza pie hands, and bring that stuffed animal over your head. Next, we are going to move on to our backward straddle rolls. For this, you're just going to need those two pillows that we use for our forward rolls. You're gonna put them on the ground, and we're gonna start with the beginning of our straddle roll. Okay, so you're gonna stand in a straddle over your pillows. Okay, for this, your hands go in the middle of your legs until you're in a straddle. Okay, we wanna make sure for our straddle rolls that our hands are actually reaching behind our feet, which does take a lot of flexibility, so it is a good idea to stretch before you do this, before you do any of this, okay? Hands should go behind your feet, okay? So use the pillows as a guide. If your feet are towards the front of your pillows, then your hands should be towards the middle of your pillows, okay? And this will get you ready to do that good push into your forward straddle roll, okay? So do these. Make sure you're doing these nice and slow. Once you're finished with those, you're going to practice falling back into your straddle roll. Okay, so back these pillows up a little bit. We're going to start in front of them, just like we did. Stand in a straddle. Hands go a little bit behind your feet, and you're going to fall onto your pillows. Make sure you have a nice cushion for yourself. Okay, arms up. Hands a little bit behind your feet, and push into that straddle roll. Finally, just like we did for backward tuck rolls, we're going to sit on the ground, hands ready like you're holding pizza pies, and do our rocks. Okay, try to touch the couch or the chair behind you. All right, and finally you can put this all together. Make sure if you're starting from a standing position that you are on something that has a lot of cushion to it. Like I said, for me, I'm on a carpet, which is great, but it doesn't have that big cushion to it that we're used to having at gymnastics on our mats. So I'm actually gonna start in a sitting position just to be safe. All right, but I can still do the full roll. I'll start with my hands in the middle and give myself a push. Okay, and we're gonna go through those steps for our backward pike rolls as well. For backward pike rolls, again, start with your two pillows. Just like we did for backward straddle rolls, we're doing the same exact things, but with our legs together and our legs straight. Okay? For this, you're gonna start in the front of your pillows. Hands go a little bit behind your feet, just like your straddle roll, okay? And make sure you're stretching nice and slow. Then you can back these pillows up. Make sure sure you have a good cushion. Hands a little bit behind you. Okay, make sure you get ready for that good push into your backward pike roll. And then finally, you can do your pike rock and rolls, hands in a pizza pie. Touch the chair or the couch, whatever you're using. All right, and finally, put it all together. Like I said, I'm gonna start from a sitting position. If you have something that's really soft, you can start from a standing position. For this part of the video, we are going to practice with our round-offs. For a round-off, it is important that you have a really good cartwheel first. So if you're still working on those, that's great. Just stick to those, practice on your form with those. If you are practicing round-offs, we're gonna start with our hurdle that goes into it, okay? This is what you see going into a tumbling pass. All right, so you're gonna set up your two pillows just like this. This is gonna help us to stretch out our hurdle and get some good speed into our tumbling. Okay, now I'm a righty, but if you're a lefty, it's the same setup. You're just hurdling with your left leg. Okay, start here. Bring this knee up. And lunge, like you're going into a round-off in this case. Okay. Start here, hurdle, lunge. Okay, once you get good with that, you can add a step in front of it, and then if you have room wherever you are, you can add a nice fast run in front of it. Okay. So I'm gonna do a step. All right, with this part of our round off, you're going to practice on stretching it out. All you need for this is one pillow, and we're gonna use this pillow in a variety of ways, okay? To start, make sure you have a good amount of space. You don't wanna kick anything. Just make sure you're away from the wall. Okay, we're gonna start with stretching out the second part of our round off, okay? We actually are going to do a cartwheel to a step-in position, okay? That'll help us practice bringing in our feet nice and quick so that we're ready for a fast round off. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a cartwheel step in. I'm gonna put my hands in the front of the pillow and my feet on the other side of the pillow, trying to stretch out the second part of my cartwheel step in, eventually my round off. Okay, so it'll look like that. Really kick that back leg nice and quick. Once you get good at that, you can change it up a bit. Put your hands on the other side of the pillow, stretching out the first part of your cartwheel step in, eventually your round off. If you're working on cartwheel still, that's great. This is perfect for you. You can work on this. Just land in a lunge instead of a step in. Practice your technique with some of those drills. You can go ahead and put them together for your round off. For this, I did put some extra padding down. With skills that have pounding in them, you really want to make sure that you're working with a mat or something that has cushion to it for safety. Okay, so I'm going to start in that good hurdle position. Okay, I'm going to go into my stretched out cartwheel, kicking that back leg for speed, and bring my feet together nice and quick. Practice on getting your chest up quickly. Like I said, if you have a lot of room, you can add a running jab, practicing your